Okay, so our your turn example, we're going to look at the percent of students that stay in state for their first year of college data set. We're going to find the 5-number summary as well as calculate the cutoffs for outliers and look at the box plot. So the 5-number summary, so just a reminder, looking at min, looking at Q1, we're looking at the median, Q3, and the max. Right here we have, it's a, technically it's a stem plot. However, you can also think of it as a histogram that has a bin size of 10. And that's why a lot of times when we look at stem plots, we look at them sideways. Looking here, my min, it's going to be really easy. It's going to be 36. My units are percent, so I'm going to put percent there. My max, it's going to be the high end, so 92 is the highest that I see. And once again, my units are percent. So finding the others might be a little bit trickier, so things to consider is this is out of 50 states. For me, I'm really visual, so if I have all the way through 50 and I want to split it in half, that means I need 25 on both sides. So observation 25 and observation 26, when they're in order, we would average these two to get our median. And so if you remember from there, if I have 25 on both sides, and I want to find my quartiles, the quartiles will be the median of each half. So observation 13, because you'll have 12 and 12 on each side, as well as observation 38. You'll have 12 and 12 on each side. So real quick and dirty, just to explain where the heck I'm indicating that this should be observation 13, which is equal to, this should be observation 38, which is equal to, and this one is going to be the average of observation 25 and 26. So getting rid of that there, might use this for some other stuff here. So observation 13, so what this is cool is it's saying, hey, the first one's in there, second, so this third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 13. This gives me observation 13 right there. So observation 13, is going to be 70%. Then if I want to go on to find observations 25 and 26, well, this is observation 24, 25, and 26. So I need to average 80 and 80, which hopefully this one's an easier one to average. You're going to get 80%. Then finding observation 38. So this was observation 26, 27, 28, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to get 83%. So my min was 36%. My first quartile, 70%. My median is 80%. Third quartile is 83%. And my max, 92%. So that would be my 5-number summary. So our next step is to, that's what I'm doing right now, is to go ahead and use the information we have to find whether or not we have outliers, either on the high end or the low end. So things we'll need, we're going to need Q1, which we calculated was 70, Q3 was 83. If you combine those together, you can find the IQR, because the IQR is just the third quartile minus the first. So you'll get 83 minus 70 is 13, and it's in percent. The units still are percent. And then I think we have what we need. So lower cutoff. So what that indicates is anything below this value that we calculate is going to be an outlier on the low end. So Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. So I'm just going to plug in. So that's going to be 70 minus 1.5 times 13. It's going to be something like 70 minus 19.5. I'm going to get 50.5%. So any values below 50.5%, those are going to be outliers on the low end. So just looking, we don't have any 50, so none there, but it does look like I have a 36 and a 44. Those two are going to be outliers. So anything below here. So then my upper cutoff is going to be Q3 plus the 1.5 times IQR. So we're just going to take that 83, and this time we're going to add that 19.5. You can do right off the bat, that's going to go over 100. We're going to get what? 102.5. You can't go over 100 because what we're saying is, hey, of all, first year college students from this state, what percent of them stayed in state? You can't have over 100% stay in state. So we know we won't have outliers on the high end. So now we're going to go ahead and put it together. So putting it into a box plot. So my axis is the first thing we're going to do. We tend to prefer to put box plots horizontally so that they're going sideways. They tend to be a little easier to read. Granted, you'll definitely see them vertically. It's not a big deal. I wanted to include I think I went about 30 to a little over 90. I want to make sure I included everything here. So the first thing we draw is going to be our box. So Q1 is the lower bound of the box. Our median is going to be the line in the middle of the box, and Q3 will be the upper end of the box. So from there, we already said this is my max non-outlier value. So 92 was my maximum value, and it was an outlier, so that whisker extends to 92. But then, this is my lowest non-outlier value. So my lower whisker is going to extend to the lowest value I had before it was an outlier. So it's not going to extend to that 50.5. It's going to extend to, if you look at the data set, 55 was the lowest value. That was not an outlier. And then you have to include the outliers as well. And whatever your lowest value is, this is my minimum. Whatever your highest value is, it's your max or your maximum. And that's me doing this now. So that's just an example, putting that together. There will also be one in the notes. Hope it was useful.